Hello and welcome to this episode of Calin's Outdoor Adventures. Today we're going to be tying the Klinkhammer, a good emerger and can be an attractor pattern as well, dry fly. And so I have a size 16 risen barbless shrimp and caddis hook in the vise. There's a number of different hooks and hook styles you can tie this on. This is just the one I've selected to go with. So I'm going to grab some thread. Here I'm using Uni A-Dot in white or 70 denier thread. If you're using anything else or whatever, you want to use something in that 70 denier size. Start my thread on the hook, break off the tag, and we're going to start by adding our post. And I'm going to grab some poly yarn for the wing. So I'm going to grab that. I'm going to fold it over my thread. Bring that up right about there, about eye length and a half behind the eye of the hook. Just going to take some wraps around the base just to secure it. And I'm just going to gently start taking posting wraps around it to secure it. And to form our wing post. Bring it back to the base. Make sure it's secure, not going to spin on the hook shank. Got one trapped right here. I'm just going to trim that out of there. I'm just going to go slightly higher on the post. I think they look pretty good with quite a bit of hackle on them. That's as far as I'm going to go with the post. Pretty long post, but there's going to be decent little bit of dubbing for the thorax and body. It's going to kind of make that post a little bit shorter. I'm just going to wrap in front of it just to hold it up, make sure it can't spin. I'm just going to trim that just to make it even right there. You don't have to do that, but I just wanted to twist it so it stays all together. And I'm going to wrap down into the bend of the hook a little bit at about there. And I'm going to grab some brown superfine dubbing. I'm going to pull a decent little pinch free from the packet, and I'm going to start dubbing that on my thread. I'm in a pretty tight dubbing noodle here. There's a couple different ways you can do it. You can also, if you want to really cord it up and fine body, you can make a loop, or you can dub it onto your thread like that, and then you can throw that into a dubbing loop and you'll get it super tight. I'm just going to bring my bobbin up to the base of that, push that forward. I'm going to start taking wraps around the hook shank. We're going to build up a decently tapered little body, and this body will hang down into the water and look like an emerging insect, which will get those trout's attention. Come over and grab it. Need a little bit more dubbing here. Pull down some more thread. That ought to be enough. I'm actually going to stop it there. You can do this in a different order. This is just how I'm going to do it. So now we have our abdomen dubbed. I'm going to bring this in front of the post again, about up to the eye. And I've selected a hackle feather in the right size from this beautiful whiting Hebert Minor half saddle here and grizzly variant. But I'm just going to go with grizzly on this one. You can go with brown or whatever. So with the shiny side of the feather facing me, I'm going to strip some fibers down to expose the stem like that. And off of the top side, I'm going to strip a few more. That's what we look like right there. Now I'm going to tie this in. I'm actually going to trim that little hackle stem right now. Now we're going to take some wraps up the post, securing the hackle as we go. Up to the, oops, a little too hard. Up to the top of the post. And we're going to wrap back down it. Now we're going to dub the thorax. So we're going to come back down, back to the eye, and get another little clump of dubbing. And now we're going to make a slightly shorter, a little bit fatter dubbing needle than before. Bring our bobbin back up, and we're going to start taking wraps with that to form kind of a chubby little thorax. We're going to end with our thread on the near side of the body in front of the post. Now I'm going to reposition the hook in my vise. Get that locked down. Now I'm going to begin taking wraps around the post. With the hackle. Few feathers there. I'm going to stop right there. Now we're going to bring our thread around. Try to trap as few fibers as possible. I did a pretty bad job there. Caught quite a few. We're going to snip our hackle feather free. Now, just to get it out of the way, I'm going to trim the post right about there. And I'm going to grab my whip finish tool and do a 5-turn whip finish. Seat the knot well. Now I'm going to reorient that properly in our vise. And we're going to seat the knot and snip our tying thread free. Now is a good time to get rid of any hackle fibers that you may have trapped. I trapped some there, so I'm just going to trim those off. Did a pretty sloppy job of not trapping any. Could have done with a few less hackle wraps and a little bit shorter post, but I want this fly to float really well, so I did quite a long post and quite a few wraps of hackle. It's all personal preference. So now I'm going to grab some head cement. Here I'm using Loon Hardhead in clear. And I'm just going to grab a bodkin and put a little drop on that whip finish and the thread wraps to make sure they do not come undone. A little on the other side. And there we go. That is the Klinkhammer. Good all-around merger pattern, and depending on what colors you tie it in, can even be an attractor. So there we go. Thanks for watching. Click subscribe.